How's it going, y'all? It's Jay Freedom. Welcome to the channel. So, I want to talk about a few things today. First off, this Omicron variant that just came out within the last few days. It's a new variant, a new virus. More fear-mongering. You know, they got to keep us in a perpetual state of fear. That is what they're doing. But I want to point something out to y'all if you don't know. So the word Omicron, as soon as I seen this, I was like, man, this has got to have some type of connection to something, because that word kind of stands out a little bit, you know. So there used to be this video game. It came out in 1999, and it's called Omicron, the Nomad's Soul. It says, who will you be after you die? And nomad means wandering, so the wandering soul, right? Which is us. We are all wandering souls on this plane that we're on. And there are entities out here. There are things that are after our souls. You know, we live in a spiritual realm. And we are in a spiritual battle. We are in a spiritual war. That's what's going on with all this, with everything. So I want to show you a from this game. There's this guy named David Bowie. I'm sure most of you know who David Bowie is. But David Bowie, he's the one that plays the voice of this character here. And here's David Bowie. This dude is definitely into the occult. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So let's go back and let's listen to a scene from this game. Listen to what he says. I'm going to turn it up here so we can hear it.
He uses Omicron to attract souls. He asks players to put their spirit into a body in order to enter our dimension. As soon as the soul has come here, it only takes a demon to catch it and take it to Astaroth, who condemns it for all eternity, which very nearly happened to you.
So he's basically saying, you know, we're after your soul, you know. We're after your souls. And he uses the name Astaroth, which Astaroth in demonology is the great duke of hell in the first hierarchy, with Beelzebub and Lucifer. He is part of the evil trinity. He is a male figure, most likely named after the Near Eastern goddess Azdarat. Sorry if I butchered that, but so he's basically a gatekeeper for hell, and he's after souls. And let's see what he says after this.
Who condemns it for all eternity, which very nearly happened to you. No, unfortunately. As long as your soul is a prisoner in Omicron, you run the risk of being caught by a demon and thrown into the reservoir.
So as long as your soul is a prisoner in Omicron, you run the risk of being caught by a demon and thrown into the reservoir. So, isn't it crazy? And this game's creepy. You know what I'm saying? This is a creepy game. Isn't it crazy how this game has the same name, and it's basically about a battle for our souls, as the same thing as the Omicron variant, the name for the new virus that just came out. I mean, that is just, I don't believe in coincidences anymore. Everything is strategically planned, and we're battling against evil and dark places that we can't see. I really believe the people that run this matrix that we're in, they're definitely Luciferians, and they are definitely into evil and soul harvesting and all that type of stuff. So, and they're after us, they're after you, they're after our children, and we got to be aware of these things, because this is what we're dealing with. So I want to point something else out here to you guys, talk about a couple more things. I just found that very interesting, wanted to point that out. Also, another thing I want to point out, so YouTube removed the dislikes button, right? If you go on any YouTube video right now, it doesn't matter what it is, you can't see the dislikes anymore, right? And I'm thinking like, okay, why would they do this? They say it's to help smaller creators. It's to help them from getting discouraged, so they can make content and not feel like people are hating on their videos or whatever. But it's like, dude, we know why. You go to any CNN, any major political news propaganda network on YouTube, and the dislike to the like ratio is like 10-1. It'll have like 10,000 dislikes, 1,000 likes. So you can clearly see people are not buying the bullshit, especially when it comes to CNN, like the Clown News Network. People ain't buying it, and people don't want to hear it anymore. People are getting sick of it. So if you remove the dislikes and you just can't see the ratio, well, hey, that's going to make the video look better, right? That's going to make it look like it's only got likes. You can't see the dislikes. It's just another way for them to try and control information, control the narrative, and try and, remove transparency so that people can't really see what's going on. That's all it is to me. That's what I believe it is. If you think it's something else, write it in the comments to me, but that's what I think's going on. One more thing I want to point out. We got the Ghislaine Maxwell trial coming up, right? So it's going to be held in a federal court. So obviously they say there's not going to be able to be any video taken. There's not going to be any cameras in there. It's not going to be like world news like the Kyle Rittenhouse trial was, which I think it should. I do think this should be on every news channel, and it should be covered like the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, because there's a lot of big names involved in this trial. This is the biggest pedophile ring scandal that has ever been uncovered in our history, and there are a lot of big names involved. People in all kinds of big corporations, people in politics, governors. The names that are out there are crazy that are involved. And I think that it should be on national news. I think that this should be covered very, very, everyone should know what's going on. But of course, it's not going to be like that. So, but stay tuned into this, and we're going to have to see what happens with it, because this is a big deal. And I noticed Jack Dorsey from Twitter, I know that he just stepped down as CEO. Does it have something to do with this? Is, maybe his name's involved in this shit? Who knows? But he's trying to get out of the public eye, that's for sure. So pay attention to what's going on with this, because they're going to try and distract us. The same week that this trial is going to start, a new variant came out. Jack Dorsey stepping down from Twitter. There's a lot of big things happening surrounding it, so pay attention. But yeah, I just wanted to point those things out to y'all. Hope y'all are doing good. This is Jay Freedom, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.